Hey guys, ceramics. This is for the next assignment. I'm going to be doing this in multiple videos because it requires multiple steps. We're going to do 2 slab constructed vases, all right? And they're going to be multifaceted, meaning they're going to have multiple sides, three faceted. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about rolling out the slabs because I haven't done that for ceramics yet on how to make slabs. And we're going to make 3 1/4-inch slabs, and then we're going to make 1 smaller slab as well, which will be the bottom for the bottom of the vases. Okay, so the 3 bigger slabs will be for the 3 different sides, and then the smaller slab will be for the bottom. I'm also going to talk about making the template. So if you have an old cereal box, all you have to do is rip one side off of that cereal box and use the cardboard that doesn't have any design or printing on the other side as your template. You don't want it to be just a regular piece of paper. You want it to be something like this cardboard that's very durable. Okay, because that's going to be our template whenever we draw out our design on the template. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to make 2, and one is going to be kind of mechanical in nature in that we're going to put texture on the surface of these slabs. So today with this video, I'm just going to show you how to make the slabs, and the next video is going to be going and embedding those slabs onto some surfaces. I'm going to embed it onto a sewer lid or a manhole lid, which just says City of Kansas City, Kansas on it, and try to get some of the text and some of that texture that you would see from a sewer lid. And then the other one is going to be tree bark. So I'm going to go push the slab onto a tree to transfer the positive of the tree as well as the positive from the sewer lid into the negative impression or recessed texture on the slab of clay. Okay, so I'm going to do one that's kind of natural, meaning the tree, and one that's kind of more mechanical, which is the sewer lid. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pan down and I'm going to show you how I draw out the design that I'm going to use for both of them. So let me go on and do that now on my wear board, which I have already set up for the slabs that I'm going to do. But with this, the template that I draw out is going to be used for each side, so all 3 sides. So making sure that the base isn't too small, giving yourself some room. Okay, then I'm going to draw out one side. I'm going to have it come out. I'm going to have it come back in, and then I'm going to have it go back up. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to have it go out. I'm going to have it go back in. Then I'm going to have it go up like that. If it's off just a little bit, it's okay because you can just come back in and then redraw. You can also use a pencil if you want to first. That would probably be a good idea. Okay, but you can see with the new lines that I drew, it's pretty close. All right, so this will be my vase, all right, and this obviously will be the top of the vase, the opening. Okay, so I'll cut this out later and I'll use this on the slabs once I get the slabs embedded on the manhole, or not the manhole, but the sewer lid as well as the tree. Okay, so I'll just put this aside and I'll leave that be for now. Now, to make the slabs, what I'll do is I'll just make one of the slabs, but I want you to make 3 total. I want them to be 1/4 inch thick, not too thin. So one of these stirring sticks for paint is 1/4 inch. All right, so 1/4 inch thick. If they get too thin whenever we do this project, there's a chance that they could get too flimsy. So again, you don't want to make this slab on any kind of veneered or finished surface because the clay will stick whenever you go and make the slab. I would say about maybe 3.5 pounds of clay per slab. Tools that you're going to need is a rolling pin for this, all right now, just a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, a hard tube, just a hard cardboard tube would work really well, okay? So I'm just going to start patting it out by hand first. On one side, flip it over, do the other side. Hope my neighbors downstairs aren't too annoyed with this. They may be. This is a good idea about trying to have a home or a studio so that you can make all this noise and not affect anyone else around you, right? Plus I'm creating a lot of dust in my room. So whenever you do this, go outside and do it. I don't have the luxury of doing that because I'm in an apartment, but if you have an outside balcony or an outside patio or yard, do it outside, or a garage. Hopefully no one's third shift downstairs and they're sleeping right now. I don't think they are. Okay, I'm not just dropping it, I'm dropping it at a slight angle, and what that does is it elongates the slab. And this is a way to get that elongation without having to use a rolling pin right away, as well as not needing to use a slab roller. So what I'm going to do is I'm just looking at the template before cutting it out. You could cut it out right now so that you have more ample space. And I'm pretty much right there. I can see whenever I fold and I push it away that I have the mass that I need. But what I want to do is I want to roll this down a little thinner because it's not quite 1/4 of an inch. It's almost 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to go on and put my sizers on the side there. Start rolling. Okay. And then also by having these here, whenever you get down to the size that you need to, the rolling pin will hit these two pieces of wood, and that's when it won't compress down anymore. So having these set up on the sides will help prevent this from compressing down too much and creating any kind of divots that you don't want. I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a little air hole, air pocket. There's one right there too, and one right there. Just poke those and then go back over. And they're gone, okay? Okay, that's good. Now when you do one side, you need to go and do the other side. So remember, clay likes perpendicular pressure, and then if you do perpendicular pressure on this side, all the clay molecules are lining up and locking together, but not so much on the other side. So we have to do the other side. Okay, put our bars back in, or put our guides back in, and then compress this side. If you have a bigger piece of wear board, use that. Or if you have any sheetrock at home that you can use, do that. Okay. Right. Another little air pocket there. I'm going to take care of it now. You may ask yourself, well, what about that hole? What about whenever you smooth it up, you see it leaves a little blemish? Well, you just take a little piece of clay, smooth it on top, and then roll it over. Okay, it all evens out. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the bottom, right? I'm going to look at the bottom of this and you can see how much. Let me get this ruler quick. So this is going to be a 4-inch bottom, right? There's going to be 3 sides, and then it's going to be a 10-inch base. So that's good, keeping it at about 10 inches. The size of the cereal box cardboard plane is the best size. So it's about 12 inches, I think, from top, or about 11 inches from top to bottom. So making the base about 10 inches within those dimensions. So, hope I got a little dust bunny there. So anyway, you can see that what I can do is I can shift this over because there's so much clay. All right, and this whole area right here is going to be extra. So what I can do is I can use this cardboard, kind of draw out where the extra is going to be, maybe even get a little closer. Okay. And all of this is extra, right? So instead of rolling out a new slab, I can use this extra clay, which I just mark out as EX, extra. Okay, I can rub that out later. And then this will be where the vase template is going to lay whenever I get to actually cutting the forms out. Okay, so this is about 3.5 pounds of clay. You can probably get away with making this with 3 pounds of clay instead of 3.5. So doing 3 pounds of clay, maybe 3.5 for the first one, so you have this extra that you want to use for the bottom of the vase whenever you go and attach the 3 sides together, and then you need to put the bottom on, and I'll show you all that. And then for the other 2 bigger slabs, just make them 3 pounds so that you don't have all this excess, right? You need one of them to have an excess, but not all 3 of them need this much excess, all right? We are going to be cutting a lot of this off and not needing it, but we don't need this much for each slab. So you want to make sure that one of them has excess because you don't want to make all 3, get them attached, and then realize you don't have a bottom to sit them on. Because once you get the 3 attached, you want to sit it on the bottom to help stabilize the form, and I'll show you that. So don't forget, one of them, 3.5 pounds with that excess for the base. So this will be used for the base, this will be used for the wall. Okay? So keep that in mind. And then what I'll do with this is get yourself a really big durable trash bag. You know, any of those flex mesh trash bags would be really good. And tuck these into the trash bag. Don't leave them on the wear board. Leave them in the trash bag, okay? Until we're ready to embed them onto the texture, which I'll do later for the next video. And then after we embed them in texture, then we can start assembling them, slipping and scoring, and then doing some coils in the seams, all right? So keep them stored really well. You can lay them on top of each other. You don't have to spray them with water so they don't stick. Just keep them wrapped up in plastic until I get the next video going, and then we can push that with that demo into the texture. All right? So I hope that makes sense. Go on and get started on those today for class, and then most likely either later today or tomorrow I'll post a new video in regards to pushing them into the texture, because you don't want to make the slabs and not push them into texture as soon as you possibly can, because if you don't, they'll get too dry and they won't pick up on the texture. All right, so I have a Zoom meeting with a few of you later today, and I'll be touching base real soon. Okay, take care. Bye.